and we are rolling. In just about 18 hours, we have UFC Fight Night, Strickland versus Hernandez, and we're going to get into my picks immediately. But as you can see, this breakdown right here, I did write, so there's a written breakdown of what's going to happen tomorrow night. But for now, we're going to use the fight card here, reverse the order, make it a list, and we're going to go on down to the main event from the bottom. Prelims, starting off with Carli Judice versus Juliana Miller. Now, Judice, I don't know. Carli is the favorite in this, and she's 5-2. Juliana Miller's about to be in 4-4 if she loses this, but I feel like she's a tough girl. I feel she's a little bit underrated because of the competition she's fought and like kind of, I don't know, just what's happened in her fights, I guess. She's a little bit older, but at the same time, like Carli's never really had too impressive of performances from what I remember of her. If we look at her record here, she does win by 100%, in fact, KO, TKO, but I don't think that really means much in terms of who she's KOing, like some random pose, like what? But then she's losing against like decent competition. I don't know. I can see why she's the favorite, and I just think Juliana Miller's kind of tougher than Judice is. So I'm gonna go with Miller via decision through a tough fought battle as we move on up the card to Yadier Valle versus Jordan Leavitt. Now, this guy had a good performance in his last outing against what's his name, Isaac Dolgarian, the guy that has the he got kicked out of the UFC because of the whole betting scandal thing. Don't forget to hydrate. And I feel like he's pretty good. Yadier 10-0, he's undefeated against 12-3 Jordan Leavitt. I think he has like a, what does he have? No, he has a shorter reach than Leavitt. They're the same height, but I feel like Yadier just has more tools in his toolkit, and he's just probably gonna win via decision as we move on up the card to Jean-Paul Lebosnoyani versus Phil Rowe. I'm never picking Rowe, yo. Never pick this guy. This guy sucks, man. Like, dog. You trash, man. Look at his reach. Such a long reach. Trash at striking. Such a long reach. Trash at grappling. Freaking, what do you, like, man, I mean, at least when he wins, he always gets a finish, 100% finish rate with his 11 wins, but he has a woman's record at 11-6. I mean, like, that's not good, man. That's like a veteran woman's record, 11-6. Like, so unimpressive. But for a man, like, there's higher standards in the UFC and in fighting in general and in sports in general and maybe in life. But anyway, like, man, this guy sucks, dog. He's freaking suck. He losing a freaking Seokhyun Ko. I mean, he's not like, it's not like he's losing to bad guys, but he's always getting bullied. He's 6'3" at welterweight. He's always getting bullied by these guys. This guy's gonna be 5'11". He's just gonna bully you, man. I think he's gonna maraud that guy. And this guy was initially supposed to fight here, Austin Vanderford. Check out mintedmma.com. The website is released and it's fully in active development. But it's great website here. Make your picks on the website now. As we move on up the card to, well, I chose Jean-Paul via decision because he's kind of a newbie, right? And yeah, he's coming out of the Contender Series. He's a newbie. He's like, and there's something to say about veteranship, especially if you've been fighting in the UFC a lot, like Phil Rowe. But he's just a punching bag, man. Freaking bum-ass fighter. He's out of there, man. He's not going to last long in the UFC. Like, what is his contract? Let's see. What you got, boy? I mean, I don't know. You can't see his contract here. But I mean, I'm just looking at his fights. And he's fought a lot and he's losing a lot. So his freaking, let's hide the canceled bouts, like his career is probably on the record. I mean, on the line. We're looking at his record. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is his 8th UFC bout. A lot of the time, they have 4 fights on their contracts, these guys. 4 fight contracts. So it's 4. 4 of them. So he got 4, and look at that. He went basically 3-1 the first 4. And now he's got another 4. Oh, wait, no. That doesn't really add up. That's 9. This is going to be the 9th one, right? Whatever, it doesn't matter, because that's not always how the contracts work. It's not always 4-4. But he could be fighting for his career, this guy, in the UFC. Because, like, he sucks, Doug. And, like, the UFC, unless he's getting paid very little, that's why they keep a lot of these guys around and kick out people like Patchy Mix, who kind of, you know, he lost twice and he's kind of sucked in the UFC. But a lot of people think he deserved more of a chance and more fights than just 2, especially because I personally thought he beat Jacobe, but man, Jacobe's just winning freaking by slim margins every time. Like, he was about to lose a decision to Muin, and he subbed him in the last second. Like, that's impressive, man. But anyway, I'm losing track of everything I'm talking about. But Phil Rowe sucks. Let's just leave it at that as we move on up the card to Ramiz Brahimaj versus Punahele Soriano. Yeah, I think in terms of these guys, I don't think either of them are really that good. I just think, like, you know, Ramiz he's a tough guy. That's the thing. He's more well-rounded. I thought Austin was gonna maraud him. He was gonna maraud this boy, but it went the other way around. Hey, whatever. But you know, you win some, you lose some. My last percentage, what was it? Let's look at my profile here, shall we? Let's look at my public profile on mintedmma.com. The last event was this one, 77%, right? I should probably go to the actual event, right? The event page, not the image. You can have an image to share, you know, for your picks. But also, right here on the event page, UFC 325. No, that's not the right one. It's this one. The UFC Fight Night, Bautista versus Oliveira, 77%. Not too shabby, but let's get back into the actual thing here. And I chose Ramiz Brahimaj via round 2 submission because Punahele, he's like, he gets hit, and when he gets hit, he gets clipped. And when he gets clipped, he gets dizzy. And when he gets dizzy, he get knocked the heck out, dog. You know? I didn't think about what I was going to say. But, like, let's see. Does he get knocked out? Rear naked choke. He probably got clipped and then got choked. And then Roman beat him by punches. And then the other ones are decisions. But I do think he's a bit chinny, Punahele. And he has mostly just wrestling to rely on. Like, he beat Nikolai Veretinikov via decision, and I called it, I guess. I mean, I chose Punahele, but I don't think he's good enough, really. I think he's, like, kind of basic. He's not that good of a fighter. Well, he's decent, but not really, you know. He's good at beating all the bad guys in the UFC, but Ramiz is a little bit above being a bad fighter. So I'm gonna go with Ramiz via submission. He's just gonna tire out Punahele. He's gonna out hustle him. He's gonna out tough him. I think there's something to be said about tough guys and toughness in general. Tough people will beat more skilled people. I don't even know if Punahele is technically more skilled even. So, I mean, you know, yeah, that's it. That's the pick right there as we move on up the card to Nora Cornolle versus Joselyne Edwards. And yeah, as I said in my written predictions here for this bout here, Nora Cornolle versus Joselyne Edwards, what'd I say? Where'd I say it? Let's see. Right here. I'm curious why this matchup was even made. 9-3 Nora takes on 16-6 Joselyne Edwards, the veteran between the two. Joselyne is longer, taller, a better striker, and has significantly more experience than Nora. And yeah, so she's just gonna win. I don't think there's much else to say about that. That's Joselyne Edwards via decision. It's a women's fight. Not too many knockouts and subbies going on around them parts, you know? But anyway, we move on up the card to Alden Coria versus Luis Gurule. Now, this man got his name via Fight Fairy. Shout out Fight Fairy. Check out the profile. Go ahead and send her a tip as well. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. And with 0 wins under his belt, you know, I just skipped ahead of what I was about to say. Luis Gurule has never impressed anyone and has even earned the nickname Stay Away Gurule by our very own Fight Fairy. Yeah, I was skipping ahead. I was maybe ADHD or something. I don't know. But yeah, Gurule, this is his 4th fight, I think, right? In the UFC. Let's check it out. Got his fighter page here. This is his, no, third. It's his 3rd fight. He's never won. And he got murked by Ode, and Ode sucks. And he got freaking got by Jesus Aguilar, who's not, he's a tough guy, I guess, but it's fine. But yeah, that's why I got Alden via round 2 KO. He's just gonna bang the boy out. Or man, right? Yeah, I guess he's older. He gonna bang the man out, you know? Boy on man on, yeah, anyway. We move on up the card to Ode Osbourne versus Alibi Idiris. 2 guys that don't really have too much freaking talent, in my opinion. I mean, you know, like, these guys would be great as, like, karate kids, you know? They have skill, but I just don't think they're really on the level, especially when you're 13-9 as a man fighting in the UFC. That's a freaking woman's record. Women can have that record, that's okay. But a man being 13-9, my guy, and you getting tossed all sorts of ways, KO, TKO, submission, decision, gosh darn, Ode, you getting got all day. Look at this shit, my god. The only person he beat was freaking Stay Away Gurule. Oh no. Bro, you freaking suck, dog. Jesus Christ. Look at that, dog. Barely any freaking UFC wins. This guy probably get paid freaking nothing. That's probably why he's still in the UFC. Like, if you ain't getting paid shit, you a featherweight, man, you ain't getting paid shit. That's probably why he's still in the UFC. This guy sucks. Ode sucks. He sucks, dog. Versus Alibi, who's like, he's decent. That's why I'm choosing him via decision. But he got freaking murked by Joseph Morales, who's good. So, I mean, but like, this is gonna be like, oh man, this guy's never fought in the UFC other than that loss he took, that big ol' L, but I think he's gonna take it back. I think he'll take it back. I don't think he's gonna get subbed by Ode. He's not gonna get knocked out by Ode. Like, what does Ode do? He freaking, you know, he gets all sorts of different kinds of wins, but like, man, against who? Who are you even beating ever? Ever. Freaking nobody's, dog. Nah, you're done, Ode. As we move on up the card to Chidi and Njokuani versus Carlos Leal. Yeah, I'm choosing Leal. Chidi is like, Chidi bang bang. I used to like that. And he seemed like somewhat of like an older prospect because he's 37 years old, right? But he came into the UFC a little bit later in his career, which was right there, yeah, like 2022, and he's 37, right? So do the maths, quick maths. Now he beats some guys that he kind of should be beaten, but then he loses to some guys that he probably shouldn't be losing to. So it's like, man, I don't know, man. I can't pick him. I can't pick him. I'm gonna choose Carlos Leal via KO in round 2 because Chidi gets banged up. I feel he gets hit, he gets hurt, but I guess let's see what his statistics are here. Yeah, I mean, he gets KO'd. He gets subbed 5-4-2. I mean, he barely gets decisionated. He gets freaking KO'd. He's basically, nah, you can't really call him a glass cannon because he gets a lot of decisions as well. Yeah, I think Carlos, plus I watched the weigh-ins earlier, Carlos was way hyped. He just had a hype behind him, like just a hype energy. As we move on up the card to Zachary Reese versus Michel Pereira. Now, What's funny is I think Zach Reese, and we should be getting odds on here at some point, right? Some like, so we know the betting odds. But I think like Zach Reese is the favorite, or it's maybe like a pick'em, something like that. I don't know. But Michel is on a 3-fight losing streak, but I feel like he's good. Like he's pretty good. He just gets banged the heck out. He didn't get banged out by a boost, but that makes sense. A boost don't bang nobody, not even women, you know? But I think Michel is like a little bit better than Zach. I mean, look at his record, 31-14 versus a guy that's 10-2. Man, oh man, Zach, I picked you last couple times even. Do we have his record? His record ain't fully filled out right now for some reason. I'm gonna have to get that fixed because he's, wait, 10-2. Yeah, it's definitely not 10 freaking wins on here. But we have the last few. And Jackson McVeigh, I remember that one. I did pick Zachary Reese in that fight. I picked him. Yeah, I mean, I just cause I picked him don't mean I'm gonna pick him again. You know, I think just Michel has the energy, and he's gonna expend all his energy to beat the brakes off Zach as we move on up the card to Jacobe Smith versus Josiah Harrell. Two undefeated fighters at 11-0. But Josiah is not a UFC fighter. He's coming in on very short notice to replace, who was it? Let's look at Jacobe's here, right there. Seok-Hoon Ko, who we can click on here. KO or Ko had a rib and injury. And yeah, that's why that bout was canceled on the event. And Harrell came in to replace Ko. And you know, I think he gonna get knocked the heck out by Jacobe because this guy's a newbie. Nobody know who the heck you are. And like, I saw him at the weigh-ins as well, and it was like, bro, I don't know. He looked kind of just like no energy. He looked like just, I don't use these words, but like, you know, like the B word, like a beta. Not a bitch. Come on, I ain't gonna say that. But anyway, Sergey Spivak versus Ant Delia. Now, I am choosing Spivak because I feel like Ant is a little bit hyped up. I do like that his record is kind of steep. He's had a lot of PFL fights. Ant Delia, whatever. This guy from Croatia. He's had a lot of fights in the PFL. But he got banged out by Waldo Cortez Acosta. I like that one. That was fun. That was a fun fight. He got eye poked, eye gouged even worse than Tommy Aspinall, Tommy Baby Boy Aspinall, who's out there crying, getting LASIK and shit, and then pretending like his eyes were injured. Anyway, yeah, I just think that Sergey's gonna win because he has more UFC experience, and he's also fought in the PFL. But well, that's not who we're looking at. Wrong person. He hasn't fought in the PFL. That's why I said it in a slightly confused way. Very slight hint of confusion. I bet if you rewind and listen to me say it again, there was a very slight hint of confusion about he also fought in the PFL, and he didn't, Sergey. But yeah, but he has more UFC experience, and I just think he's been in the spotlight more. He's just a grinder. How old is he? He's 31 versus 35. But this man ain't 35 with 26-7. He'd get the freaking his head bashed in constantly. You know, it's like, bro, this man's not 35. He's my age. That's my age, man. Like, I look at this guy, I look at anybody that's like 35 and I don't feel like I'm their age, man. Like, y'all are freaking old as shit. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your body? What the heck? I mean, I get it. He's a fighter, but it's not just that all the time. You know, it's not always that. But this guy, yeah, like his face is freaking, it's like leather, right? Yeah, this is a heavyweight bout though as well. And Spivak weighed in at 251 pounds. Ant weighed in at 231. Spivak is a grappler. What is Ant? He's a striker. What the heck do you think's gonna happen here? He's gonna get the heck laid on. That's what the heck's gonna freaking happen. You see? That's all. yeah, as we move on up the card to Dan Ige versus Melquizael Costa, aka Melky Costa, fighting out of Brazil. Brazil. 25-7. He has a pretty steep record. In fact, it's steeper than Dan Ige's, although Dan Ige has fought how many times in the UFC? I think I said it in my breakdown thing. Where can I let me remember how to navigate around here. My breakdown where on this event should be right here. I said it on my breakdown that Costa yeah, here we go. That Ige, the amount of stacks of losses Ige has is actually crazy. Coming in at 19-10, Ige has 20. Yeah, I was right in my brain. I didn't say it out loud, but Ige has 20 UFC bouts compared to Costa's 8. Much of the time, veteranship matters a lot. Here, not as much because Costa actually has more total bouts at 25-7. UFC does matter the most, but other organizations and experience is in no way insignificant. With his upward trajectory and size for this division, Milky, I think it's supposed to be Melky with an E, but I'm going to leave it as Milky, Costa wins via submission, finishing Dan Ige for the first time in his career. I'm going to call it. I'm calling it right now. We'll look at his record here. Dan Ige has never been defeated via finish. He's never been finished up in there. This man never let another man finish him. That's respectable. I actually, man, I've never said that out loud in my life, but I respect it. This man has never let another man finish him. Not that, you know, you can be gay, it's okay. But like, you know, anyway, moving on. Like, we look down here. He's never been finished. I think it's impressive because he's fought a lot of people, like even Josh Emmett. He's fought Josh Emmett. Josh got them frickin', he got the power. I had this song in my head. I wonder if anybody else did as well. But yeah, that's why but man, the thing is, who is it? Josh Emmett. He's also kind of a small guy like Dan. He's big but small, right? Like he's wide. He has like a long reach because he has wide shoulders, and he's a powerful person. But I feel like there's just different mechanics with people like Milky, who is a little bit bigger. He's 5'10", and he has, I'm pretty sure, a longer reach than Emmett. Let's look at Emmett's profile real quick. Josh Emmett, 70-inch. Yeah, I mean, he has pretty long reach for being 5'6", 70-inch, and Milky's at 71-inch reach, and he's 5'10", so he's taller and he has a longer reach. And I think just like the mechanics of that and the way that he fights, of course, as well, just kind of lends itself to being able to get people out of there in certain like different ways, I guess. And that's why, even though Ige had not been finished by Josh Emmett, he can still get finished. And I think there's gonna come a day where he just he gets clipped and then probably subbed by Costa in round 2. As we move on up the card to Jeff Neal versus Uros Medic. Now, Uros I picked against in his last bout, and I think rightfully so, because he sucks. This guy sucks. He sucks, man. I don't think he's a good fighter. It was crazy that he beat Muslim Salikov the way he did, because I think Muslim Salikov's not that bad, but he's 41, you know. But I mean, bro, this guy sucks, dog. Like, I don't think you're good, man. Freaking, I mean, he has the same reach as Milky Costa, and he's 6'1". I mean, like, bro, you ain't even got this physique, dog. Like, at least, like, Jeff's got it. You know, I don't know what I'm talking about now, but I think Jeff has the power. Jeff has more power, and he gets clipped, he gets dazed, he gets freaking KO'd all kinds of ways. But I don't think Uros is on that level, man. I just don't think so. You see, this is a 3-fight losing streak to the best of the best in the division. Shavkat Rakhmonov, best in the division, 100%. Ian Machado Gary, basically up there as the best, below Shavkat. Carlos Prates basically up there as the best below Ian. Like, so like he's losing to all the best guys in the division, and I think he's pretty good. Jeff, Hands of Steel, Neil, and I think he's gonna put them Hands of Steel on this man's dome, and he's gonna go night night in round 2 after probably a hard fought round 1, maybe a slow round 1. Not maybe not. I feel like Uros won't make it as slow, so it might be pretty high paced. Whereas Jeff, like if it was a bit slower, I think he's okay with it being slower paced, because like he's looking for that, like looking for the shot. But that was a co-main event, and now we move on up to the main event of the evening with Sean Strickland versus Anthony Hernandez. Now, Sean freaking dumb Strickland. This freaking dumb right here. Look at this guy. Look at this freaking guy with that freaking mustache. Look at this dumb. I like Sean in certain ways, but I also dislike him in certain ways. I think everybody thinks of him that way. But one of the ways I dislike him is not in his personality. I don't really care about people's personalities. I'm pretty goofy myself. At least I ain't a dumb, but I'm goofy. But like, I just think he sucks at fighting. He's like, okay, that hyperbole, right? Like Joe Rogan says he's the master of hyperbole. I'm like also a master of hyperbole. Like, I just don't think he's that good at fighting. The way he fights is boring. He's so defensive, and in the freaking weigh-in, he said this freaking man against Anthony Hernandez, he said that what'd he say? He said that he's more Mexican than Anthony Hernandez because he fights like a Mexican. He stands and bangs or whatever. Oh my god. Are you kidding me, guy? Are you kidding me? He's trying to bait Anthony or something into just striking because he's scared of the grappling. I think that's it. Because how can you say that you fight more like a Mexican than Anthony? And I don't even care about the heritage thing. It doesn't matter. Like, Anthony fights more like a Mexican than Sean does. It makes no sense that Sean even said that. Because if Anthony was like actually I actually thought he was from USA. Isn't he? Is he not from USA? He's from Mexico. But I like, just look at his freaking record. Like he's a freaking, like, he goes forward. Just look at the way he fights. If you've seen any of his fights versus the way that Sean fights, Anthony's the freaking Mexican between the two. I don't understand what Sean's mindset is, but again, I guess I foreshadowed it the whole time. What'd I call him earlier? Dumb. You goddamn dumb. You freaking so dumb, Sean. My god, my guy, you're losing. And he's gonna get KO'd in round 2 because Anthony goes forward. He's gonna bang you out, boy. Like, he's gonna fight you. Whereas people don't seem to want to fight Sean for some reason because, oh, he has really good defense. Oh, what the heck, man? That's it. So stupid. Like, just fight him, dog, because Sean's not good. He's not. I mean, look at just the way that like Alex Pereira took him out, right? I mean, Alex is the best, but he just went up in there in like 2 minutes, left hook, dead. Freaking easy, man. Who else knocked him out? Somebody else knocked him out, right? All right, that was like back in 170 pounds with Elizu Zaleski. Is this the guy that died? Is he dead? No. That's a different guy. This guy's from Brazil. I'm thinking of someone else. I think he has a similar name. He passed away though. But yeah, I mean, like, I just don't think Sean's good. I think his fighting style is trash. I think his mentality is trash, in the cage at least. Like, because the things he says about the way that he's gonna fight is great. Like, that he's going in to kill, blah blah blah, blood, such and such, gosh darn Mexicans or whatever. I like it all, but it's like, you don't actually do those things in the cage, Sean. You don't. You freaking go in there and you put your freaking right foot up and your right arm up. Like, what the heck are you doing, man? That's how I see Sean. You freaking goofball, Sean, and you gonna get knocked the fuck out. Anyway, everybody check out mintedmma.com. Don't forget to make your picks, because we also have other events coming up like UFC Fight Night, Moreno versus Kavanaugh, which was a initially going to be about with Asu Almabayev, but he, I believe, got injured. So now we're gonna see what's his name, Moreno, just murk freaking Loner. He gonna murk that boy. It makes no sense. This matchup makes no sense, man. I get it, short notice. You gotta make the main event or whatever. But I feel like they could have found somebody else. But prize fighting, right? This is prize fighting. This is the UFC. This is MMA. This is mintedmma.com. Sign up, join now. This has been the picks and predictions. I have my written review on here as well. And catch you next time.